Hello, this is Joe Sonona with Sonona Speaks Seminars, and this is Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate. And my guest this week is Kevin Inglesias from Realty Connect USA in Suffolk County. How are you, Kevin?
Joe, I am very honored. I'm very well. I appreciate you making some time to put me on your platform today.
Well, in full disclosure to our audience, I want to tell you that this is another one of my handpicked new finds from Instagram. Woo! Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in the real estate business.
All right. So, I used to work in it was a company hired by LIPA. I was a groundsman. I don't know I don't know if they have them out there in Long Beach. It's Asplund. It was a company named Asplund.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I see them all over.
Service company. Yeah. It was hard work. I would have to wake up really early, be at the yard by like 5:36, start working. And I wanted more for myself. I wanted to be my own boss and have control of my own schedule, my own day. And hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it froze on my side.
Oh no, not on my side. You're still good. I think Asplund wants you back, and they toyed around with my Wi-Fi a little bit.
I think so on my side because I left. But
this is going to be a crazy interview.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
All right, go ahead. So you left Asplund and you chose real estate.
Yeah, I didn't have, I don't have an associate degree. I didn't have a bachelor's. I don't have a master's. I have my high school diploma, thank God. But I've always been good at sales. I've always been a people person. So I said, you know what? Let me try real estate. My wife helped me study. She helped me pass the exam, but it took me 3 times. I failed 2 times. I passed on the 3rd try.
Yeah, they make it hard. The Department of State makes it very hard for the people to pass.
They do, but I think it's I think real estate is just you have to be a people person. You have to know personalities, and you can't give up. It's all a mindset. I could have gave up the 2 times that I failed, but I wanted more. I wanted to be successful. I wanted that financial freedom that you get from being in real estate. So I went and took the test. I passed, and now I'm one of the biggest platforms on Coffee Talk.
Indeed. And you have a podcast too now. What's the name? Oh, look at this. The sirens are ringing for you.
They're coming for me, Joe. They're coming.
Woo! They're coming. Oh my goodness! You hear it? One more honk, and it'll be a rally. There's no emergency out there. I swear they do that to just do an exercise of exercises, just to prepare for the real thing. Yeah. So you're on Coffee Talk, and you have a podcast now.
I do. So I started.
What's the name of your podcast?
It's called the Real Estate and Chill Podcast. I started with my loan officer, James Chowdhury, a very good friend of mine, very good loan officer that I work with. And it's been very fun. It's been very exciting. It's very entertaining. We wanted to start something that, something like what you do. You educate, but it's fun at the same time.
Right.
That way it captivates the audience attention.
And not too many people know this about Coffee Talk, but this is usually, it's almost always, I would say 99.9%. You're my 96th guest. This is our 96th episode today. And this is done in one take. So there's no bloopers. Where are the bloopers right now doing this? But we're going off track, but that's okay. So in full disclosure, again, I discovered you on Instagram because that's how I ask all our guests, no offense to the ladies out there. I can't get a lady on Instagram, because they're all shy. So sometimes there's mostly men on this show, and I'm like, oh, I really don't want to offend the ladies. But ladies, I'm just going to implore you one more time, come on to Coffee Talk, please. I'm so sick and tired of having these men here, no offense, Kevin. I had a rant for a second. No, actually the month coming up is going to be a ladies' month. It's going to be really great. All of a sudden, I got like 4 or 5 ladies now wanting to come on, which is great.
Awesome.
So
You got
we discovered each other on Instagram, right? I discovered you on Instagram because you're a listing pro, and this is a teaching tool for people who want to be listing pros. And we know that this is coming. You know, our market is about to change soon, and we're going to need listings. We already need listings with the lack of inventory. So tell me something, Mr. Kevin Iglesias. What is your secret sauce to listing homes?
All right. So I started in the business 2016. I knew nothing about real estate. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody, who was guiding me in the business. I jumped in not knowing anything. So I joined Realty Connect USA. I went to a couple of the training classes, and John Fitzgerald, who's the broker owner there, was giving the class, and I was going after for sale by owners. At the time, the market wasn't aggressive as it is now. But as you know, for sale by owners is very tricky. Why? Because they think they could do it themselves. They don't want to take commission, and they know it all. So I just kept getting rejected and rejected and rejected. And I went to a training class, and he pulled up thousands and thousands of expireds and said, "You could be making X amount of money if you just went after these expireds." And a light bulb went in my head, and I just started door knocking and cold calling, and that's how I really built my business foundation. Was
just in full disclosure, this is before the governor's pandemic. Do not call, do not door knock. All right, because we have to cover ourselves here. It is,
of course.
It does broadcast everywhere. So no, because we want to make sure that we're always in compliance with what we're doing. And so you did all that, and you became a top pro right away, or was there okay?
No. Everybody's story is different, right? I had to work with buyers to get familiar with the business. I think that really gave me the experience, though, of what to expect when walking into a listing appointment, going to the home inspections, seeing what the inspector says, just going to see a house and notice just by looking at the roof, wow, the roof is shot, it needs to be replaced, or the gutters are missing, or there's cracks in the foundation. All that knowledge I use for my benefit when I go to an appointment now. And I let the seller know, I educate them, say, hey, look, this could be an issue. This could be an issue. This is definitely going to pop up. There's no hand railing to the basement. That's an issue. FHA. So I use all that knowledge, and I just created so many relationships. Again, I think this business is all about creating relationships, being a people person, and just winning them over that way. Because salesmen just have a negative stigma to them, right? And I like to think of myself as more than just a salesman. I'm just a very genuine people person. You and I just met for the first time today. Before we even started going live, just a bunch of laughs.
Nobody would ever guess that, right?
So I like to make people, and I'm sure you're the same way, I like to make people feel 100% comfortable, right? So when you're working with me, it's all laughs, it's all fun, but it's all knowledge as well. I'm helping you. I'm holding you through from A to Z and helping you out and making that big transition, whether you're buying a home or selling a home. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal.
Yeah. It nobody gets it unless they're into our business. They won't get it fully.
No.
Unless they have tire tracks on their face or images of a door slamming in our face, right?
You know what it is? When I first started in real estate, I thought the same thing because, there's so many shows like HGTV and what is it? Love It or List It.
Fantasy television.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you said that because I used to sit on the couch the same way. And I just said, oh, that's so 3 homes in an offer? All right.
Oh, my goodness. He sold one right out of a limousine. Oh, I got to do that too.
Yeah, I thought it was all, I thought it was so easy, but there's so much stress, so much work that goes behind it. And
this is why I don't know if you agree with this concept, but I have brought this concept to, I won't say the name of the organization for protection's sake, but I have brought this concept to many organizations, real estate associations, and I brought this concept to schools. And I don't understand why schools in real estate or organizations or associations that offer schooling or licensing for pre-licensing don't offer a career night for people wanting to explore real estate and give them an insight as to, let's say, Kevin Iglesias comes to the school that night, doesn't say he's from this real estate office, says he's in the business, and he says that, this is what you got to do to be, in real estate. And you explain your growing pains, and you explain how you got from A to B. And then a teacher and a real estate agent like myself comes on and says, now we're going to study these chapters, and this is what you got to go through in the 75-hour class, right? And if the person had a little bit of insight, like we're giving insight right now to our audience, who is thinking, maybe I should be a real estate agent because I've seen those fantasy television shows and I want to get into real estate, right? But yet at the same time, you sit there and you go, why can't we do this in a career night for our audiences? And why can't we, give them some insight before they pay the amount of money to go to school, get their hopes high, and think that they're going to be the person in the limousine selling houses, So this way, it kind of like, now, I don't want to say discourages, but it encourages them maybe to do something else rather than coming here with all this high hopes and ambition, because real estate is not for everyone.
No, it's not. It's not. And I see a lot of people who join that month 2 down the line, they're no longer doing real. They're no longer practicing real estate.
Because NAR statistics are 87% of all new real estate agents fail within their first year. That is a staggering statistic. I mean, you just said it. You went, wow, because not too many people know that. And this is a numbers game for every real estate school out there. They don't, I want to say to some people, like, some people just, it's a numbers game. But some people, they genuinely care that their students are getting that top-notch education, which, we provide, in our schools. I can say I work for 3 different schools right now. And I got to tell you, each one of us cares for each one of our students. But what happens after? What is the disconnect? We'll get into that if you want to talk about the disconnect. What would you say to a broker today? Like, what are they missing that new agents need to know about listing homes and about really the business in general?
So again, when I started, I didn't have a mentor. I think that's something that I should have. You know what? I'm really hard-headed, Joe. I wanted to get in the business and know that I can make it on my own.
Okay.
I told myself, I don't want any help. I guess it's a little bit of being stubborn and a little bit of pride and mixed into both. But
how old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
There's the stubbornness. You're at the end of millennial, right? Are you almost at the end of millennial? Are you the generation X or Y or whatever it is? I don't know. Is it a generational thing that you have to be stubborn, or is it just you?
I think it's me. I mean, if you ask my wife, she'll say it's just me.
Oh, well, my wife says it's just me too. So,
but so I really went through the trials and tribulations. I made so many mistakes that I really learned from. And again, like you said, there's very few, places that will teach you or let you shadow them or come to appointments with them and say, hey, look, this is what you have to do. You have to fill out the paperwork like this. And this is what you should expect. Don't expect a check right away. Save as much money as possible. There's going to be, roadblocks. There's going to be obstacles that you're going to have to face and overcome. And I think that, what was it, 87% don't make it in the first year?
Yeah, that's a staggering statistic.
And just speaking from experience, I think that, that makes sense, because the one thing that was holding me back my first year was fear. Fear of getting rejected, fear of door knocking, fear of cold calling, fear of, oh, you don't have a resume, I don't want to hire you. And I went through all that. And I had to overcome that. Again, Didn't have anything to fall back on. This was my only plan A. I didn't have a plan B. I didn't want a plan B because then I would get comfortable. And I say this all the time. You have to get uncomfortable to reach success. You have to do things you don't normally do to be successful.
So is that your advice for new agents?
I think it is. I think my advice would be find a mentor, find a coach, somebody who's gonna teach you the ropes, not just the glamour and the glitz that you see on these fantasy shows like we spoke about. Really see the behind the scenes, the groundwork, everything that goes in to it, and then you'll really see if this is really for you or if it's not.
You were talking about fear, and I was trying to think of what fear means for me in real estate. So I was thinking for a new agent, face everything about real estate.
That's
How's
good.
that? Fear. I just made that up, by the way.
Yeah, you're good.
I was going face. I was like, all right, fear,
Must be
face
the coffee.
everything. And then it must be the coffee. You have your coffee. Here's my coffee. No, so the new agents out there need a little bit of direction, and how would somebody really what I know we talked about the secret sources facing the fear. What about technology? How does technology play a factor in listing? Will you use any special technology to market your homes?
So surprisingly, Joe, I'm 30 years old. I got in the business in 2016. I did my first deal, so I was about 26. I haven't been on social media for over 6 years. Wasn't using anything, Facebook, Instagram, anything at all.
That's surprising.
Very surprising, right? People get very surprised. I've only got on Instagram about maybe 2 months ago, and I'm glad I did. I made so many connections like yourself and other people that I've met. It's a great networking tool, and it's a great way to get your business out there. So what I had to do, I'm a very low key person. So what I did is study the comps as much as possible. That way, I use that as a tool to get these homes sold quickly. Study the comps. I studied the days on the market. I studied when they were listed, how much they were listed for, when they got a price cut, a price reduction, et cetera, et cetera. So I looked at all these statistics, and then I just went to just listing and selling and selling and selling. But would it have been easier with me being on social media? Yes, a lot easier.
So you became the market specialist, and that's how you're become a top lister.
Yeah, so I got into business in 2016. It took me about 2 years to be known at our company as a top producer, but it was not easy at all. I mean, my wife would tell you so many rejections. My first year, again, 87%. I could believe it because my first year, I could have made more money, just working at a regular job. And there were so many days I wanted to quit. I was like,
But you didn't want to work at a regular job. You chose this profession. I have my favorite Godfather quote.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Godfather 2. Hyman Roth says to Michael, "This is the business we have chosen." and every time somebody says something about our business, oh, I had a bad day, I had a good day, I go, "This is the business we have chosen." I do and they look at me and I go, "You remember Godfather?" And they go, "Oh my God, how can I forget that quote?" And I think about, what we have left. I left a full-time teaching position 33 years ago.
Wow.
I would have been the principal, maybe even retired by now with a big fat pension. And, a lot of us, I know Asplund company. I know that company. I know the growth of that company. But I also know the grind mentally and physically that people put themselves through, because I've heard it from not just guys like you, but guys like me, and doing, non-construction jobs. And then you hear the guys that are clocking in and doing manual labor. And I'm like, why? If this is not what you're doing, if this is not if you're not happy about doing this, why are you doing it? So I always say this is the business that I have chosen for 32 years now, and I'm very happy, and you're very happy, and you're going to have a very successful, well, you are having a very successful career, and you just have to persevere.
Yeah, it's all about
you've been at 16, right? Since 2016?
Since 2016, yes.
Okay, so 5 years in, this is kind of like a little bit of a turning point for you, where you're discovering new challenges. But old pros like me, what would you tell an old pro like me? If you had to give some advice, what would it be to say?
My thing is adapt and change with the times.
Mhm.
The saying adapt or die, right? So you have it's survival of the fittest. You know this business. You've been in the business for how long, Joe?
Over 25 years.
But I'm
Let's put
sure
it this way. I am in this business so long that I'm having the best time of my life still, as if I was still that newbie coming out of school with
awesome.
that twinkle in my eye, innocent and a virgin look, like that I go out and I get excited about real estate.
I do
I
too.
get
It's
so excited about real estate.
I love it. I love it. There was nothing else that I would want to do but real estate. I love
Yeah.
meeting people. I love listing homes. I love seeing beautiful homes. I sell distressed homes too. And I've started a team now. It's Team LINY. So short for Team Long Island, New York.
Good for you.
And thank you. And I train these guys. But everybody that I
How
train,
many you have on your team?
right now, I currently have 4 people on my team.
That's great. That's great.
But I train them and I tell them, well, anybody who I mentor or train, I can teach you everything I know that has brought me success, that will make you successful, but it all depends on you. If this is the business that it all depends on you. If it's not working, it's something that you're doing that's not working, right? And I had to learn that on my own.
Well, Kevin, you better teach them only the good habits. That's our phrase here at Sonona Speak Seminars. Learn only the good habits. And who but you to teach them, because you've learned from your mentors over the years, and now you're instilling in them your stuff. And it's very hard to change somebody who's got bad habits.
It is. And I always tell them, look, I can teach you anything, everything, but I can't teach you hustle and hunger. Those are 2
Mhm.
things that you have to dig deep within yourself and you have to bring it out.
Right.
I grew up broke my whole life, living in apartments, going from apartments to apartments, sleeping on the couch, sleeping on the floor. And I just wanted better for myself.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And do you feel that you've achieved that now, or there's still some much more to go with this?
So I've been in the business. It's 5 years now. It just last month hit 5 years.
Oh, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I've accomplished everything I said I was going to accomplish. Thank God. I'm very
I'm
happy.
knocking too.
I'm very blessed, but I'm very goal driven too. And once I reach a goal, it's like, all right, I have another goal now. And I'm not content. I'm not comfortable, because once you get comfortable, that hustle starts to drop, I feel like. And that motivation just starts to deter. And I just want to, like you said, I love real estate. It's an addiction for me. I can talk about real estate nonstop. My wife hates me talking about real estate so much, but it's just something that I'm so passionate about. And I've never been good at anything but real estate. So I think that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Do you ever think that like like when you go backwards, and you look back at what you from day one, that fire, that energy, do you always say to yourself, I got to keep that lit. I got to keep that hunger alive? Because like you struck upon it before. And I remember a time in my life where every day was spaghetti. We had to eat spaghetti because it was cheap,
Yeah.
but it was before real estate. But I do know, poor. I know what it's like to be poor. And I think back on those days and I go, well, I don't want to ever have a day like that ever again.
And that's why I work so hard. I don't want my kids to experience what I experienced. I mean, my first year of real estate, I swiped the card at a deli. I got rejected for $7. I couldn't afford $7 worth of food, and I just like, this is a feeling that I don't want to ever feel again. I don't want to, because I felt like that my whole life, It's living
Talk about your children. You just got a newborn?
Yes, my baby boy Michael. I have 2 boys, Jaden and Michael. So I'm very blessed. God has been good to me. So I'm very blessed. And you always have to keep that fire in mind. Always have that motivation of why you started. You know, again, I went to a meeting at the company. I saw so many agents winning awards, winning awards. I didn't even own a suit, you know, but I was just so motivated and I eager to learn. And I told myself, I'll be there one day. And I told my wife too, I'll be there one day. And thankfully, thank God, I'm there now. You know, I'm
Are you a member of YPN for the Long Island Board of Realtors?
No, I'm not. You know what's crazy, Joe, is I didn't know that you had to put in an application for top 20 under 40.
Yeah.
I never knew that. So
did you do it?
I'm doing it now as we speak, actually.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I listen, I people who have been on this show, I have had YPNers on the show who have won the award, and I have had people on the show before they won the award, and now I'm going to predict that you're going to win it this year. So if that's any pressure for the president of YPN, Chris Backus, and the vice president, John McSherry, the two of my good friends in real estate, I'm endorsing Kevin Inglesias for this year for the top 20 under 40 because I think that he deserves this award. And I've only met you today. No, I seriously, from humble beginnings to much success that you've had already, you deserve it.
Thank you.
You absolutely deserve that award, and it's very, you know, it's prestigious because it is a real estate association that recognizes top 20 under 40 years old, and I've had they recognized me in 2019. Yeah, I'm looking at my little placard there. They gave me a Young at Heart award, which I was completely taken away by that because I support YPN. I support the efforts that they do. Kyle Kelly, your colleague in Realty USA, he was the president, and he's also been he has been one of the leaders of YPN that drove the charitable efforts of YPN Home along with the Realtor Political Action Committee, RPAC. So you would be joining a great bunch of people.
I'll be honest with you. I'm playing on that. Again, I didn't know you had to put in an application, so I'm doing it now as we speak. Actually, this morning, I was like, wow.
You better do it. You better do it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having you win it. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you rooting for me, Joe.
Yep, absolutely. Hopefully the next interview we have, you'll hold up your award to me. So my last question of the day is, if you had to pick between one of the fiduciary duties of, and they're all important, and obviously we use them in our business. They're the foundation, the core of real estate, of obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, reasonable care. Which one would you pick, Kevin Inglesias, and why? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I would pick loyalty. I think loyalty, it could, if you're unloyal, it could destroy the relationship. But if you're extremely loyal, it could bring so much joy and so much more business, you know. And we're in sales, right? But this is a service business as well. It's providing excellent service to those clients, going above and beyond for them. And they'll recommend you. 9 times out of 10, they'll recommend you if you do a good job, you know. And I think it would definitely have to be loyalty for me.
Yep. Thank you for adding that. And a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, which one should I pick? Which one? But that was a good one. So listen, it was great having you here. I could talk to you all day because let's see if I could say it in Spanish. El corazón de usted es muy grande.
Gracias.
And I hope that more and more people recognize that about you because it comes across. And you have a great career ahead of you, mister.
Thank you. And again, we just met today and we hit it off so well. And
that's right. We got to go to lunch soon.
Yes, we'll do. Can I say something before we sign out?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. A little drum roll. We would love to have you as a guest on my podcast, the Real Estate and Chill podcast, with my friend, my boy, James Chowdhury. We would love have you on our platform to educate the younger audience as well, and those who are thinking about getting into real estate and everything else. We love what you're
Yes,
doing.
let's get to them before they get to that limousine show and or that fix it or screw it. I don't know what that show is. We're gonna really screw this one up, right? Well, this is Joe Sonota, and this has been a great episode with my friend my new friend Kevin Iglesias from Realty Connect USA. And this is Joe Sonota with Sonota Speaks and Coffee Talk. And I look forward to another exciting episode soon with our audiences. But thank you again, Kevin. Thank you for being here.
Bro. Thank you for
appreciate you. Take care.
Are we off air?
No. I can't get this thing to stop. It doesn't want to stop. That's why. It doesn't want to stop. Doesn't want to stop.
So yeah.
Wait a minute. Hang on. It doesn't want to stop. I don't know why it doesn't want to stop. It just wants to continue. That's all. Let me see if
we made the right connection.
It doesn't want to let us go. Let me just hang up here and then I'll come back.
Okay.